there's no way I can make a ranking basis video without using mine as sort of a benchmark, a baseline. And I think my base actually works alright for this. There's a common theme here, definitely. There's definitely a common theme, but it's all very different. Like, here's Oscar's house. It's the worst part of the base. But then you come here and you see the casino, which might be among the more influential buildings this season, because at least 40 different people came in here to gamble during Season 4's Prime. And look, there's a church where I wanted people to worship me, and nothing of that happened because I ran out of funding. There are some buildings that look great and some buildings that look horrible. Like, these are Colbus's doings. This is goddamn great. And this farm is pretty nice. I love the usage of... what the heck? I love the usage of shroom lights. But generally, this base is just meant for usage. Not for good looks. It's meant for pure, beautiful logistics. And what I'm about to show perfectly describes that fact. It's a giant factory based on villagers. It's still very logistically practical, which is the base's whole point. If we are to count the entire clan as a base, then it definitely wins because of size. The state of Arcandia has more land than any other clan on Kiwi. It's not even close. But most of it is, as you see here, just empty, uninhabited, sub-Saharan Africa grassland. So, with all that settled, the base gets like a 3 out of 10 on looks and definitely an 8 out of 10 on logistics. So it gets a 5 out of 10 as a perfect baseline. So this is the clan called Disney. It is owned by Aera and Viv. The person that I asked to teleport to told me that it has mostly been built by Aera. And given how much things there are here, it's rather impressive. Like, this is what I saw first. This... bro. This giant tree, like... if you build trees, you know that also in survival this is actually very impressive. And there's something... and there's a little store here, too. So it also serves a function other than just decoration. Doesn't need to. Doesn't seem finished, but right now it's beautiful. There's a house here. I do not know who it belongs to. It's in construction and already looks very nice. There's also a few more buildings. They go for like a village-y aesthetic, but still, look how pretty the insides are. And they also have good taste in banners. This beacon design, I absolutely love it. I have not thought about making a rounded beacon design. I've always made them pointy, and I have to say this one makes a rounded design very well. Oh, and another house with the door open. This appears to be a smeltery. Yeah. A smeltery which isn't great isn't something I expect to see, and this is something I'm not sure if I like. But an industrial smeltery wouldn't really work in this base, so that's fair. And there's a little shack. Using scaffolding for windows is very smart, in my opinion. Oh look, cute little windmill. Other than that, this is one of the few places, one of the few bases that I've seen on the server. Other than that little city, little town, there's really not much more here except for a wall. I'm not assuming Era built it, but it's cool, still. A very solid 9 out of 10 base. When it'll be finished, it'll probably be a 10 out of 10. Oh, also, my bad completely for glancing over this giant dragon here. It was also built by Aera. This is absolutely sick, and it actually changes the base's rating to 10 out of 10. 9.7 out of 10, let's say. Now this might be one of the bigger bases in terms of actual used territory on Kiwi. There is a lot here. Because there's a lot of room, there's not exactly anything stopping expansion. This is the base of the South Clan, which is in Antarctica. I don't know the clan's full name, it'll just be on screen. As I see here, there is definitely a giant project for an ice temple, I think? And I love that they are fully committing to the fact that they are in the ice place. While on looks, it probably doesn't go too far, mostly because there's a lot of members, and it's hard to build something that fits in Antarctica, of all places. But there are attempts, like this frog thing, home of the mystery box, and I fell into a hole. And the frog apparently got trolled by Italians. Whoever those might be. Oh, there are patches of grass, because people want their homes to look good, but they aren't made with thinking about the actual look of the whole base. Because you don't just randomly see a grass block in the middle of Antarctica. Do you? No. And the logistic points for this base go way further, and I see this giant farm alongside the other giant farms. And they are also coming to the cold in other little places details, because there are spruces with pine cones, and spruces mostly exist in Poland and Russia, which are very cold countries. I did not fact check this information. And going a bit back, it definitely doesn't get much better, because you want the bad stuff in the back, just like on spawn. But there is still a lot of things that make logistical sense. Not this igloo thing. And there's a farm. Yeah, that's the logistic I'm looking for. A farm. There's a lot of farms in this base. It's incredibly ambitious and incredibly creative in its location. The amount of giant projects here, even if unfinished, still show the ambition. And there's even a giant flag to show the power of the government. And also, I haven't seen this building yet, which is cool. I'd say it's pretty cool too. Really cool, actually. Definitely tell the base has been built by a lot of very different people with very different styles and a lot of very different additions. So adding it all together, it doesn't make all too much cohesion in the decoration, but it is pretty logistically good. So I'm willing to give it something like a 6 out of 10. And if I weren't to account for how the entire base looks all together, I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10, because the buildings are great. But I could still not look out over the fact that they do not look at all matching. Even if it wasn't a category, I could still not look at the fact that it's not existent. A base rating video wouldn't be complete without rating the base of the owner of the server. So I asked him what that would be, and he said it's just the spawn. So you're gonna rate the spawn, I guess. I've already done a video here, but it was about these funny little heads there. And the heads are collectibles, which are essential to many things on the server, just like most things here on spawn are essential for the server. Like, look, advent crate. You're not gonna have an advent crate without Kareem's base. You're not gonna have ranked crates without Kareem's base. You're not gonna have maintenance and booster crates without Kareem's base. Making it incredibly essential. You're not gonna have the teeter either, but no one really cares. And it's always on season. There's always rather good builds related to every season. Like, not like season 3, season 4, not that. I mean like Christmas, Halloween, spring, which is nice. However, some things, on the surface, it looks perfectly built, beautiful masterclass. And, I mean, yeah. A large part of what of spawn that you are supposed to see is. But the problem arises when you take a look around and you see this was just the sphere command with world edit. Like, look at the map. It's not a lie. It really is. When you go further on this bridge, you're gonna realize the railings here They just decide, just abruptly for no reason, decide that they don't want to exist alongside with random part of the road, which doesn't even match chunks. It's just kind of not there. And not only do the railings end, the road kind of does too, abruptly. Because there was already enough delays due to spawn building that they didn't want to delay it more, which is totally reasonable. But they didn't even finish the outline. And look what they did to paste it in. They just dug out a hole that's a square and then decided that the map won't be doing anything in parts of it, but will be updated in other parts. You can get under the base pretty easily because it doesn't actually match the blue concrete. There's actually a bit of a room to swim around in, and it gets even bigger in certain portions. I didn't even know this existed. So the parts that you will usually see on spawn are really good, but then the further you go, it's less detailed. It makes sense, to be honest. And then there's just this giant pile of concrete floor with nothing on it. And I can appreciate that as someone who plays Factorio. Oh, and also you can hear water flowing here. Other than Alvo's critiques, this is still probably one of the best bases on Kiwi, especially because of its sheer size. So it gets like a 7 out of 10, I guess. It's a concrete jungle, which is totally great. We love concrete jungles. We don't like the environment. We need more concrete. More. This video will definitely not be a single video. There are going to be other videos like it in a sort of series. So if you want your base rated, drop its name below and let me go there, because that was a problem for some of the bases I rated today.